Hi, and welcome back to the last recap for now. It will cover episodes 61 through 70, and if you need a recap going into episode 73, which should be coming out this next week, you'll have to watch episode 71 and 72. And if you haven't watched any of the previous recaps or the series before this, I would highly suggest doing that before you watch this. And with that, I hope you enjoy. Episode 61 started with me getting a Layton's Power Stone from Rift Boxes. I had already hit try on a different one, so I did a TED attempt. And guess what? It blew up. I bet you weren't gonna guess that. I then decided to try killing Fugitive Calc. What a weird name. And I didn't get much out of it. There really isn't that much to get out of it, but hey, it drops like enhancing stuff, so not bad. It was fun too. It's just like jump on a horseback and go hunting. I also set up a hunting lightstone set effect, and that was Canine Tooth. I also noticed that I could set up the Ocean's Embrace lightstone set effect for setting, and after that I went and did some grinding. I did Arethia's Limbo, and then I did some Murrowax. And then after that I did probably the worst spot in the game, Winter Tree. Is it worse than Waragons? Is it worse than Bassie's? I don't know, but it's pretty close. All three of those, though, were a first on this account, and Winter Tree was very underwhelming. I then did attempt 16 on my Griffin helmet, and afterwards I did some Hystria and blew up all the earrings. I then decided I actively wanted to work on my Master Matchlock, which is something that I had been wanting to do for a while, and this involves me getting Breaths of Narcion. The progression pass for hunting has 1, I believe, and then there's a big hunting quest line that gives 2. In total, you need 5, so I'm going to have to grind out 2 of them once I do the quest and the progression pass. Episode 62 started off with me raw tapping on my Spare Griffin's helmet. I got 1 pen attempt, and then after that, I did the progression pass and the quest line, bringing me up to 3 Breaths of Narcion. I then went to Hystria, where I got my second upgraded compass part. Sadly, it was a Vodkin piece. Other than that, I got a duo earring. I then started to work on Manos Hunter's clothes. I enhanced those up to duo. I then decided that I really wanted to make Manos accessories, so I made one for every single slot, except for the belt. I got the ring up to duo, and then I forgot to crown the neck and it blew up. I got my other accessories up to duo, and then I went and used crow coins to buy another necklace because I really didn't want to go mining for any longer, and so I got that up to duo as well. Episode 63 started with me grinding for some money at Orcs to do crons to get my full duo Manos. I think I said I got full duo, but I just needed to do one more tap to get one of them up. So then I did that. I enhanced my Hunter's clothes up to try from duo, and I got 1 out of 60 for the pity pieces for the Breath of Narcion. I assume I'm going to get the actual breath before I get this, but hey, it's 1 out of 60. I then went off to do Salies, and then I had a realization that I really wanted a Gallius because Salies take so long, and the Gallius shoots 2 cannonballs instead of 1, so it kills things twice as fast. I decided to use my Shakatu seals to buy a frigate. After I got my frigate, I did attempt number 18 on my Griffin helmet, which failed, and then I enhanced my Manos Gatherer's clothes up to try. I then went to Star's End to enhance the pry that I had gotten from a Shakatu box, and blew it up. I then started on gathering for the Gallius at that. First on the menu is Zinc. I went down to Helms, and I found a good rotation for that. And then I made a fluid collector to gather sap, and I started enhancing that and got it to duo. Episode 64, I started off at Desert Fogans to fill up a Marnu Stone. While I was there, I got an AP Pure Blackstone, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to use it. I want to try collecting them all. Not that that's ever going to happen. That was actually right around the 1 million monster killed mark. I think it was like 10,000 off, but hey, took about 1 million kills, so I think those things are probably like 1 in a million. I then got a second Marnie Stone, and I am absolutely not going to do that. That thing's getting trashed. and I ended up finishing the one that I went there to do. I then decided that I really wanted to use my miraculous herbal medicine. Problem is that I would waste a ton of energy because it restores 500 energy up front, and then it's 30 per 3 minutes, so it's 10 a minute extra. That means I need to get my max energy up because I only have 430. I want to get somewhere around 530, and so we're gonna have to go do some knowledge grinding. But first, let's do Black Shrine. Hey, I got all Calamity 5 Black Shrines done. And with that, I got a Garen Crystal, meaning I made my second Garen's tier. And you all can't even get one. I then used my Sung Pyong coins that I was saving for a Garen backup, but now that I have a backup, I spent them on Forest Crystals, and I made some Vital Crystals, which give Mastery. Then the weekly rolled around, and I got another Garen Crystal, meaning I have 5 out of 9 fragments for a third tier. Kinda ridiculous. Then I went on to my energy grind. I went to get the Papu and Turtle Island or whatever. It's like off the west coast, off of Star's End. And there's a big quest line that you have to do there. It takes like 5 days. And so I started that and got to the point where I needed to do the dailies. That means that I have everything in the sea log done besides this island and the dailies, and everything in the character section in the knowledge journal thing. I have all of the stuff done except for Ataraxian and then the stuff on this island. So I'm getting pretty close to finishing that up. After that, I got a Tri-Bassi belt and attempted for Tet, which would be a pen attempt because we do have that Tet Valtara, but sadly it failed as I was going for Tet. Episode 65 started off with just a little bit of ecology grinding, not too much. After that, I made up a necklace cup that I should have made just a super long time ago, but never did, and I equipped that onto my ogre ring. I then did a griffin helm attempt, which failed, and then I enhanced all of the accessories that I had saved up. It was to save storage space and just to make some Dekia fuel. So I melted all of the stuff down that went up to try. I then went to Pit of the Undying and unlocked Try, which means I think I can get like 2 loot scrolls a day now, or something close to that. After that, I went and gathered some more zinc, and I got all 72,000 that I needed finally. That took probably like 10 hours to do or so. I went back to Sakraya for knowledge, but decided just to do 2 hours instead of just getting the knowledge. And I got a bunch of Tungrad rings, and guess what? I got a second ring to Tet, which means I now have 2 Tet rings. I went to get a whole bunch of other random knowledge from different grind zones, like Waragons and Pirate Island and stuff like that. And after all that, I got the quests done on the Papu Island, finishing up the sea and the character portions of the knowledge menu, besides the Ataraxian sections. I then went back to grinding and did some Jade Starlight, and guess what? We got the raw flame drop. I still don't have the Pen Griffin or the Caphras, but hey, very cool. I did attempt number 21 on my Griffin helm, which failed. And then I did another Tet attempt on a ring because I have 2 Tets, and it went to Tet, which means we can do a pen attempt. I did that pen attempt, and of course it blew up. I then made 200 out of the 300 land items I needed, those being the stuff from the sap and the stuff from the zinc, which means all I need for my boat now is just red tree lumps. I ended off the video with 536 energy, which means I can now use my miraculous herbal medicine. And in between episodes, I did a bunch of gathering. Episode 66, I started off doing the Mountain of Eternal Winter dailies to get some more Caphras. That means I was just doing some stuff at Murowak and Jade. I got another duo disto from the... I don't even know how I got that. I think I went and did some Star's End in that time too, and I blew it up. I then enhanced all of the boat stuff for the Galleus because I had forgotten about that, and now I actually have everything besides the red tree lumps. I did another 2 attempts on my Griffin helmet, and that got me up to 22 attempts. I then got my final Crystal of Gallantry, which means my whole entire setup's done, without a Garmoth Heart, obviously, but I have both gallantries, so check out the setup. It's completely done. I then did Voltara Altar of Training. Do you even know what that is? Because I don't. It's a super forgotten piece of content that I'm never going to do again. It is awful. You have to spend like 100 energy to do it, and it's just bad. You should go watch that part if you aren't aware of what it is, because it's really bad. Just go to episode 66 and find the timestamp that's like, why is this still in the game? After that, I finally finished gathering the red tree lumps, and I spent around 10 to 15 hours on that in total. So that was awful. And with that, I was able to upgrade my boat. And as I said, the reason that I wanted this boat is because it shoots 2 cannonballs instead of 1. And then I went and upgraded everything up to plus 10. Episode 67, I started off at Histria again. I think I decided at this point that Histria might not be worth my time, but I'm gonna keep going here because it's my comfort place. I then decided to start another life skilling project after finishing up that boat, and that is Harmony Drafts. I made like an 8-page document listing all of the recipes and materials for this because there was nothing out at the time. I still don't know if there's anything out like that, but this was like a couple days after they had come out. So yeah, I made up a giant doc and yeah, started working on it. Because I was making so much stuff with alchemy though, I decided that I really should get my Manos to Alchemist clothes. And so I went and got those and enhanced them up to try. I used an ungodly amount of memory fragments. I then made my 3rd tier on the account, so I have 2 Gearns tiers, and now I have the red one. After that, I had some crons, so I did attempt number 24 on my Griffins, and hey, this time it actually went to pen. I threw it on my Caphras and got it up to level 7, and after this, I went and did some ecology knowledge in Comma Sylvia. I was trying to hit 8k, I think I got pretty close. I spent like 5 hours doing that and almost went crazy, so I stopped. Episode 68 started off again at Histria. I did a bit of enhancing with all the stuff I got, and I got up to a tri-ton Great Earring. Sadly, I blew it up, but hey, we got a second one up to try, but I didn't have any others, so I left it there. I then did my first attempt for pen on my boots. It failed. After that, I went to Aukman to finish gathering all the knowledge, and I got some earrings, so I did another TED attempt, which failed. After that, I got my helmet to Caphras level 8, and then I wanted to go grinding, and somebody told me that I should go try Giants, which I did, and hey, it's actually really doable. From Giants, we can get tons of distos, tons of money, and the thing to upgrade my alchemy stone. During this grinding, I decided that I was going to start cronning my distos instead of raw tapping them, now that my Griffin's helm was done. After doing that, I was setting up for some AFK horse training, and I realized that I could make a Lightstone set, which is Into the Sunset, which gives like 15% mounting XP, and I also got some fine horse trading outfits with the Imperial horse trading seals, and I got that up to +3, which also gives mounting XP. Episode 69, nice. I started off at Gyphon Upper. I was in a group with 5 people, and I didn't really get too much out of it. I think I got a single belt and maybe a Forest Fury or 2. I decided to do the Elvia questline after that, the one in Calpheon, which required me to go to every single one of the Elvia grind zones Calpheon, meaning trolls. All it was for, though, was for like 10 trash, so I went and killed 2 things and left. And I gathered all of that stuff up and finished the quest. After that, I was grinding Giants, and I died. Luckily, I didn't lose anything. I then did a duo attempt on a disto that downgraded to base level. I then decided that I was going to make some cups for my rings, since they're both at Tet. And then I made some really good progress on Elixirs of Harmony, but I realized that Fruit of Natures might be a big challenge for that, because I'm running low and they're not easy to get. I then redid some of my farms to make up some different things, and after that I made a Manos butcher knife and a Manos hoe, and I enhanced both of those up to duo. Episode 70 started off with me doing some sniper hunting for some meat, and after that I decided to go to Narcion to get more meat. And guess what? I got 2 breaths of Narcion, meaning I can make my master matchlock. So I went and crafted that and went and got some memory fragments. I forced enhanced it up to plus 10 after that, and I repaired it all the way back up. After doing that, I went and tested it out a bit and had some fun, but I wanted to go grinding, so I went back to Histria and I got my third Vodkin piece. Once I finished up there, I decided to buy a set of boots and a bow, so an extra boss piece for both of those slots to start raw tapping. I decided to do it this way because I don't really care which one goes first, and if I'm able to get them both up to Tet and then swap characters to swap over a stack for Pen, it's just going to be way easier for me. So I did that, and I got both through the initial enhancing, and I got 4 pen attempts on the boots, and I think I only got 1 attempt on the bow. I had over 1,000 memory fragments here, so I only got 5 with this 1,000, which was pretty rough. And that is going to be all for this recap, and actually for this whole entire recap series. I may put out another one eventually, but currently the live progress is at episode 72, and I'm currently going to be starting work on episode 73 as soon as I'm done with this. That should be out within a few days, I hope, but I want to make it as good as possible, so if it needs a little bit more time in the oven, I will give it that much time in the oven, so however long it needs, I'm going to just let that go. Also, I will be putting out 74 and probably 75 in pretty rapid succession until I catch up to the live progress, and then once I do, I'll be streaming again. So if you want to come check out those streams, they'll be up either after 74 or 75, so I'll be doing that whenever I'm caught up. Anyway though, thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.